McLaren is back in the championship race against Red Bull in both categories, but now the team faces some internal challenges with 8 races left in the season. Lando Norris is closer to Max Verstappen than Oscar Piastri, though the young Australian is still technically in the running for the driver's title. This situation forces McLaren into some tough decisions. How will these choices affect their drivers, and could they damage team harmony? One thing is clear: McLaren's impressive comeback didn't happen overnight. It took a lot of hard work and smart hiring, like bringing in Rob Marshall from Red Bull and promoting Andreas Stella to team principal. Key moves by Zak Brown. Signing Piastri and having the youngest driver duo on the grid seemed like a strength. It might backfire and create problems not just this year but also in 2025. We've seen moments like at Monza where Piastri and Norris competed fiercely against each other. Piastri's focus on his own success is understandable given his winning background in Formula 3 and Formula 2, but it might clash with the team's goals. Andreas Stella has acknowledged that McLaren may have to support Norris given his closer position to Verstappen in the championship. And this hints at some tough decisions ahead to keep the team on track and in contention. Stella elaborated by saying that their main goal is to win, but to do it the right way, they plan to support Lando more, but without compromising their core principles. These principles include putting the team's interests first and maintaining good sportsmanship. Above all, they want to be fair to both drivers. The Monza race was a big concern for McLaren's top brass. It wasn't just Norris losing points, both cars could have ended up crashing out due to a move that could have waited. Sure, Piastri might have seen his only chance to overtake Norris given the issue with dirty air affecting cars today. However, McLaren won't tolerate such risky moves in the future. Stella further clarified the situation, explaining that what they don't want is another Monza-like scenario where the team enters a chicane in first and second positions but exits in first and third. This hurts the team and it's a situation they need to address urgently. The discussions have been really team focused. Even when I asked Oscar if he could give up a win, he said it would hurt, but if it's the right call, he'd do it. This shows a lot about the future because it highlights that Piastri isn't willing to always play second fiddle to Norris. The reason he'll have to for now is because of how the first few races unfolded, where Norris outperformed him significantly. Right now there's only a 44-point gap between them. Piastri has been a supportive teammate, like when he let Norris take a better spot in Australia, even sacrificing his own chance at a podium. But that doesn't fix the main problem in the Drivers' Championship. Only one driver can come out on top, and McLaren isn't in a comfortable spot like Mercedes was in 2016 when only their cars were battling at the front, making internal collisions less damaging. Norris himself isn't a fan of team orders and doesn't want to be in a position where he has to ask for them. This was quite clear in Hungary when Norris, leading the race, refused to plead for the team to ask Piastri to let him by. This has put McLaren in a tricky spot with limited time to sort things out before the end of the 2024 season. As Norris put it, I wouldn't say we're out of time, but it's slipping away. I still believe we can win the championship because our pace is obviously great. I still think we likely had one of the best cars at Monza, maybe even the best, but it's not up to me to decide that it's the team's call. The easiest way to settle this is by winning the race, which I didn't manage to do in Monza because of some avoidable mistakes. So yeah, that's something for the team to figure out, not me. There are some challenges surrounding Norris' career in 2024. For instance, he's the only driver on the grid who hasn't gained a position on the first lap of a race. This means he's either losing ground or just holding his spot, which isn't great, especially when you're competing for the championship against someone like Verstappen. The RB20's performance has noticeably declined, especially in places like Baku and Singapore, highlighting this issue further. If Norris can't capitalise on these opportunities, fans and even his own team will likely scrutinise him. The 2024 season looks promising for him if he can stay close to Verstappen. But as Zak Brown mentioned, team orders will only come into play if the team believes Norris has a real shot at the championship. During an interview, Brown shared his thoughts with excitement. We're going all in. Oscar will do everything possible to assist. I'm really lucky to have two top-notch drivers. They're both fantastic. But now Lando's in a spot where he can practically taste victory. So we're going to unite as a team to support Lando and see where it takes us. We'll tackle this challenge one race at a time. If we manage to narrow the gap in the next two races, we'll keep pushing together as a team. If in the next couple of races Max comes out on top and Lando doesn't finish, gets a DNF, then we'll go back to following our usual rules. The papaya rules, it's all about racing your teammate hard but clean. Just don't make contact. Look at what happened in Monza. It was a bold move. We need to talk about this. Watching from the pit wall was pretty tense. But it's all about respecting your teammate. One person who knows a lot about this kind of situation is Nico Rosberg. In 2016, he won the championship against Hamilton after falling short in 2014 and 2015. Those 3 years took such a toll on him mentally that he retired after, partly because of the internal team conflicts. Rosberg believes that Oscar Piastri has a #1 clause in his contract, meaning he's not required to let Lando Norris pass him no matter what. When he signed the contract, no one expected McLaren to become as competitive as they are now so quickly. Speaking about the Piastri-Norris dynamic, Rosberg mentioned that it's tough for Oscar. His contract likely doesn't say he needs to support Lando, plus Oscar is driving exceptionally well and he deserves every chance to go for race wins himself. Let's also not forget that, mathematically speaking, he still has a chance to become world champion. He's only about 40 points behind Lando, so it's not an impossible gap to close. Asking Oscar to start giving up potential race wins is a tough call. This season promises to be very exciting as it unfolds. Everyone knows that if McLaren wants a shot at the championship, they'll need to use team orders, which won't be easy for Piastri, but he'll have his big opportunity in 2025 when everything resets and McLaren gets a fresh start. For now, their goal is not just to catch Red Bull, but also to hold off Ferrari and Mercedes. These two teams can sometimes snag a spot or two from McLaren, as we've seen in races like Austria, Silverstone and Spa. These events show that winning a championship takes more than just having the fastest car. Considering this, do you think team orders will help McLaren return to their championship winning form? Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment below. See you in the next video.